All right, so these are today's notes on disease. So we're getting into the actual disease material now. We've been building up to it, learning about different kinds of organisms that can cause disease, and we've been learning some about the microbiological world. So now we're going to talk about the specifics of disease. Okay. So this will be take us through next week. 7.25, Chapter 7, Lesson 25 is about pathogens. Pathogen is any living thing or a virus that can cause a disease. If we say something is infectious, that means it can infect. Some people say, oh, Susie's laughter is always so infectious, means that her laughter causes other people to join in the laughing. But in this case, infectious means that it can infect a person or animal. Contagious means that it can spread from person to person. So the flu is infectious and it is contagious. Okay. Other things might be infectious, but they don't spread person to person. There's a little bit of a difference, but for the most part, most people can use the words to mean the same thing. All right, so here's some examples. Bacteria. Again, bacteria are the only thing that are treated with antibiotics. Okay. Tuberculosis, strep throat, bacterial pneumonia, those are all caused by bacteria. Ringworm, I have a typo there. Ringworm, athlete's foot, histoplasmosis, which is a lung infection, these are all caused by a fungus. Okay, ringworm is not caused by a fungus. Ringworm is not caused by a worm. It is caused by a fungus. Athlete's foot is caused by a fungus. If you share shoes with someone, and they have athlete's foot, you could get athlete's foot, even if you're wearing socks. Okay. Vice versa, if you have athlete's foot on your feet and you share shoes with someone, you could put athlete's foot in their shoes. Okay. So don't share shoes. Another source of contact with athlete's foot is, locker rooms and stuff where, like at a public pool where everybody takes a shower, the floor is always moist. So there's places where the fungus can live until it finds a foot. Protozoa. Okay. Malaria is spread by mosquito, is caused by a protozoa. Malaria is the vector. The mosquito is the vector that carries the malaria from one place to another, one person to another. But the protozoa is what causes malaria. Diarrhea can be caused by Giardia protozoa. Viruses are non-living. They're treated with antiviral medications. The cold, the flu, COVID-19, West Nile virus, H1N1, these are all caused by a virus, cold sores. Remember, if you have a virus like the flu or even just a cold, if you go to the doctor, they're probably not going to give you antibiotics because antibiotics are only for bacteria. And if they used to prescribe antibiotics for everything. I mean, it was considered a safe thing to do. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the problem is that bacteria more and more are developing a resistance to antibiotics. So it's really important that doctors do not overprescribe antibiotics. And it's also important that if you are prescribed antibiotics, that you take it as prescribed. So if the doctor says, take this for 3 days, you take it for 3 days. If the doctor says, take this for 2 weeks, then you take it for 2 weeks. Okay? because if you stop taking it after a few days, then because you feel a little better, then what happens is any bacteria that survived, they have a higher chance of being resistant to that antibiotic. So then they're going to reinfect you. You're going to get sick all over again. Okay, so you just follow the doctor's orders. Okay, how pathogens can spread? They can spread in food. We talked about that with food poisoning. They can spread through sexual contact. I'll wait for you to stop giggling. Okay. HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. We knew what AIDS was as a disease before we knew that it was caused by the HIV virus. So that's why it kind of has two different names. But HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus, and AIDS it stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, so it's a virus that attacks the immune system. And North Carolina, I believe, still in health classes, the number one prescribed way of preventing the transmission of AIDS is not to have sexual contact. Okay. However, I'll throw this out there. Protect yourself. Okay. We wear a mask to protect ourselves from COVID. So, protect yourself when you're doing other things. All right. Some pathogens spread through droplets in the air. Thousands of droplets are released when you cough or sneeze. That's why we wear the mask. And the CDC has recently released information saying that, the mask not only protects other people from your stuff, but it also protects you from other people's stuff.